Hello, I'm William Kumwembe with Business Time on Times. It is a magazine program where we bring you major business and economic news stories making headlines. And in the program today, Malawi moves up 2 steps on the World Bank Doing Business Index. We have a report. And brand new vehicle business down 38% within 10 years. We have these and other stories. Stay tuned if you could. Hello and welcome. In our main story in the program, Malawi moved up 2 steps on the latest World Bank. Hello, I'm William Kumwembe with Business Time on Times. It is a magazine program where we bring you major business and economic news stories making headlines. And in the program today, Malawi moves up 2 steps on the World Bank Doing Business Index. We have a report. And brand new vehicle business down 38% within 10 years. We have these and other stories. Stay tuned if you could.
Up from 60.4 on the Doing Business 2019 report. The Doing Business 2020 study shows that developing economies are catching up with developed economies in ease of doing business. Trade Minister Salim Bagas was not immediately available.
Hello and welcome. In our main story in the program, Malawi moved up 2 steps on the latest World Bank Doing Business Report 2020 released on Thursday. Malawi has moved from position 111 to position 109 despite registering no reforms this year. Last year, the country recorded 2 reforms on the Doing Business report. Taonga Sabola has the whole story in this report.
The report shows that Malawi recorded a score of 60.9, up from 60.4 on the Doing Business 2019 report. The Doing Business 2020 study shows that developing economies are catching up with developed economies in ease of doing business. Trade Minister Salim Bagas was not immediately available for comment, as he was reportedly in Russia attending the Russia-Africa Summit with President Peter Mutharika. World Bank Malawi country manager Greg Tomin says improving the business environment would be crucial in helping the Malawi government deliver on its commitment to creating jobs for young people. The World Bank country manager said it is good news that Malawi has overall improved its business regulations and in absolute terms is narrowing the gap with global regulatory best practice. He says there is still much more Malawi needs to do and quickly if this commitment is to be realized in full. The World Bank manager says the bank looks forward to working with government to help them deliver. The report also shows that economies in sub-Saharan Africa continue to improve their business climates, with the region's largest economy, Nigeria, earning a place among the year's top global improvers, alongside Togo. It says economies in the sub-Saharan region enacted 73 reforms in the 12 months leading to May 1, down from a record high of 108, and the number of countries implementing at least one reform fell to 31 from 40. The Doing Business has recorded more than 3,800 regulatory reforms since the first study was published in 2003. Many of those reforms were implemented in 4 areas measured by doing business: starting a business, getting credit, paying taxes, and resolving insolvency.
Brand new vehicle sales have decreased by 38% between 2009 and 2019, market players say. This, they say, is a result of influx of second-hand vehicles over the years. Our reporter Chimwemwe Mangazi visited some showrooms in Blantyre and now reports.
The local automobile market has for many years been dominated by the government, seconded by the corporate sector and relatively walk-in customers. However, in the past 10 years, importation of second-hand vehicles has become so popular to the extent of threatening the business of brand-new vehicles. As Kia's sales executive Sharon Jumbe puts it, they have lost between 20 to 30% of their business to second-hand vehicles over the years.
At the end of the day, everyone wants to save. You're looking at the taxes and, you know, how much is going to, because even on our end, we're thinking, okay, fine. So vehicles, obviously, anything that comes in is taxed at the end of the day. And given that scenario, we buy something at a certain amount, we have to also now include that markup and everything else because of, you know, tax. So obviously it's going to be sold at a higher price compared to a second-hand vehicle. Which goes back still to people wanting to save, people wanting to be frugal in this times, because let's be honest, I think in the past 2-3 years, really, our country hasn't really been doing great, you know. So I would roughly say like 20 to 30% of that demographic is now opting for second-hand vehicles.
Michael Komani is Sales General Manager at CFAO Malawi.
Malawi is a very small market. Total sales for new cars is just around about 1,800. That's per annum. Okay, so the industry is really pushing just around, you know, if you look at it, about 150 or maximum of 200 cars, new cars, in a year. And for your information, that count actually includes some of the vehicles that are actually directly imported or directly exported into Malawi by other international suppliers, meaning that these vehicles that are coming into Malawi as part of that new car count are not actually sold by CFAO or Toyota Malawi or Nissan Malawi, but they've actually been sold by other international players such as Kia and Kia, who are, you know, supplying, let's say, some of the international community at a worldwide level. So Malawi is a small market. Our market continues to be stagnant. In other words, the number of new cars is not growing. It is basically remained the same. If you look at the graph of new car sales from about 2009, you will see that Malawi at that point in time was selling about 2,900 vehicles. So in other words, the market has since gone down, and obviously we are now stuck at about 1,000. So we are competing for the stock. Yeah. It's a matter of economic activity. What that tells you is that there are not many people who can afford to buy new cars. Most of the people can only afford to buy second-hand vehicles. And for your information, government remains, you know, government, NGOs, public sector remains the biggest buyer, and obviously seconded by corporate. But we all know that government is not at their best level at the moment. A lot of business are suffering. A lot of businesses are suffering because government hasn't got money. Our government is almost broke. Gone are the days when we would actually see, you know, a tender for, you know, 100 ambulances or 200, SUVs being bought by Ministry of Agriculture, Ministry of Education, or Ministry of Health. So the industry has been struggling for a while. So for some of the dealerships that are not, you know, really selling to the parastatals and to some NGOs, or most of the NGOs, their major client is actually corporate. And in Malawi, the individual market almost doesn't exist. Even the SME market is a very, very small market. So I guess everything has to do with the economics, the size of the country, vis-a-vis the number of people who have got disposable income to buy a car.
In recent years, the government increased taxes on importation of second-hand vehicles to encourage importation of recently manufactured vehicles.
The Malawi Communications Regulatory Authority, MACRA, is sealing cybersecurity loopholes through the newly established Computer Emergency Response Team, CERT. But what exactly will the role of the team be? This is a question we posed to CERT Manager Christopher Banda.
Okay, SET stands for Computer Emergency Response Team. Maybe I would just put in this a simple way. It's like a national coordinating point for cybersecurity related issues. Yeah, so maybe as I said, SET was, I would say it's in the Electronic Transaction and Cybersecurity Act, whereby MACRA is mandated to establish this unit in order to protect critical information infrastructure and also act as a national coordinating point for the cybersecurity issues in Malawi. As I've said, SET mainly looks at the cybersecurity related issues. Now, on that level, it's like a top level. Now, within the cybersecurity, there's the issue of cybercrime, maybe cyber war, and others. Now, you find that we work with all stakeholders, including the security agencies like the police and maybe the army and others. So when you talk of cybercrime, it's another branch within the cybersecurity, whereby our friends in the police, they're the one who handles the crime issues, while we also work in hand. So basically, only as I said, we help in terms of maybe providing necessary maybe whether training and also support related to maybe computer forensic lab, because currently it's already being developed. So we are providing all those issues so that the cyber crimes can be tackled well with the police while working hand in hand. I also mentioned about the cyber war. Now, cyber war is under MDF. So again, MDF, they need to be enhanced within the same in case of cyber war. Cyber security, again, if I relate to the critical information infrastructures orders, relates to maybe a malware. You may recall, I think in 2017, we had the ransomware, which brought a lot of issues in the world. Now, that one is the, mainly, as said, we need to work hand in hand the critical information infrastructures. I'll give an example like maybe ESCOM. You know, let's say ESCOM is attacked, even maybe at the hydropower, because all those machines, they line with the systems, and even they can be attacked with malware. So our aim is to work with all stakeholders so that the standards are improved in terms of maybe in case of an attack, or even giving an assistant if necessary for those attacks. But what we are doing now, as I was previously said, is we are providing awareness, number one, and also training. It's training, especially those people who are managing those issues. Maybe let me say, one of the issues which MACRA has done, and is starting from this year, is to conduct what we call cyber drills. Cyber drills will be conducting every year just to enhance skills for those people who are working in security-related issues in these companies. So we're working with the stakeholders to handle such through doing maybe cyber drill, and also maybe improving the standards within their operating environment.
Remember, this is Business Time on Times, and my name is William Kumwembe. It is a magazine program where we bring you major business and economic news stories making headlines. We'll be right back. One of the country's insurance companies, CIC Insurance, has said it expects to continue with its profit-making trajectory this year. CIC Managing Director Crispus Mungagwa was speaking in Lilongwe on Wednesday during an award ceremony the firm organized for brokers. He explains in this interview.
In short, we are saying this one is just to award our partners, the people we work with. We work very closely with the brokers. Other partners like loss assessors, loss adjusters, work with them. But these ones assist us very much in our business development and growth of business in the company. And so we felt as CIC to have a quarterly cocktail situation to award them and recognize their efforts that helping CIC grow.
Talking of business in general, how has we are going towards the end of this year? How has the 3 quarters of the year been like?
For us, we can say we've done very well. As I said in my speech, we have done 50% above the annual figures that were done last year in CIC, meaning we have grown by 50%. And that's why I'm recognizing the effort of all the brokers that have helped us do that. These are not audited figures as such, and maybe just to mention, we are now at 1.5 billion Malawi kwacha. Last year we did 1 billion Malawi kwacha. Now we are at 1.5 billion Malawi kwacha at the moment, and we are now making profit. Last year they made a loss as a company, but now I can assure you that for the last period of 10 months, we are now a profit, and I might not disclose the amount of the profit, but we are now in the profit position as a company. The improved financial performance first is proper controls within the organization, new business, increasing new business, uptake of many Malawians are trusting CIC more, and we're having more customers coming in.
And one of the recipients of the awards is Innocent Cavallo from Rhino Insurance Brokers.
Award is about the best performing broker. We are given a target for the 3 months from July, and then we are given some parameters that we are supposed to hit, and I managed to hit those parameters. That's when I got this award.
What was behind your drive?
Well, you know, it's not a question of what was behind my drive, but it was just a question of supporting CIC. We know that these guys have been here and they have kept their word, so we decided to partner with them and grow the business together. Yes.
And looking forward, what are your expectations?
Looking forward, we expect that these guys will keep on settling the claims in good time. We also know that they have been good partners in terms of their pricing of their products. Their rates have been very, very competitive, and they have not let us down. So going forward, we still support them so that we should grow together as partners.
Now, Malawi Stock Exchange listed Standard Bank PLC on Thursday unveiled a digital loan which will see its customers getting a loan in 3 minutes. Standard Bank acting head of personal banking Charity Moore describes the new facility as a game changer. She explains in this interview.
So what we are unveiling today is a very innovative solution that we are offering to our customers, where they can now access loans within 3 minutes using the 247 online platform. So the 247 online platform is the internet banking platform for Standard Bank. And for customers with existing loans in the personal banking space, they can now get a loan top-up without coming to the bank to fill any form. So they accept the terms and conditions right on their phone, and actually in less than 3 minutes, the loan will be in their account. The loan limits are the same as the standard loan limits that the personal customers get. So the same process is available manually. What we have done is to say we need to do it digitally, so the customer doesn't have to complete new forms, because as a bank we already know their track record, we already have their transactional history. Yes, our intention is to extend this offer to new customers, but obviously you still need a track record for that customer after they join the bank. So we are working on starting to offer those customers who don't have existing loans, but the first stage was to offer to existing customers so we can build it from there. So the platforms that Standard Bank use for digital offerings are actually very secure and very robust. And there are ongoing monitoring mechanisms that have been built in to make sure that no security risks that can threaten customer security actually impact customers. So we can assure customers that the platforms are very secure and we continuously improve them. So what we have done, we are also putting the message on social media platforms for the bank. We have been engaging our customers directly to alert them that there's this offer, But that's why we are also coming to the media to help us pass on this message to the whole Malawi, to say Standard Bank is thinking differently around customer convenience, using a process that is otherwise traditionally considered to be very difficult, and that's loan offerings, but we have simplified it and we are offering it within three minutes.
Well, with that story, we've also come to the end of today's edition of the program Business Time, right here on Times. It is a magazine program where we bring you major business and economic news stories making headlines in the country. On behalf of the entire production team, my name is William Kumwembe. But always remember, if it doesn't make money, then it doesn't make sense. Goodbye for now.